In this sponsored tutorial, we're going to check out the ZionBuilder. It's the latest page builder on the block, and I think it might have legs because it is super fast. Faster than any other page builder I've tried so far, including Oxygen. So if you're interested in speed, as well as developing nice looking websites, make sure you check out this tutorial. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I try to answer them the best I can. And if you haven't done so yet, click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Now let's get started. The very first thing I want to look at with ZionBuilder is how fast is it? As we know, Elementor is slow, and other page builders are slow as well, but they're actually a lot slower than you think. ZionBuilder, because it's fast, it created this spreadsheet right here, or somebody else did actually, Mike from somewhere. This isn't created by ZionBuilder. It's created by somebody else who is reviewing ZionBuilder and other page builders and comparing how many kilobytes of CSS and JavaScript they load on a page just by default, just a completely blank page. And for a completely blank ZionBuilder page where there's nothing on there, ZionBuilder, the free version, loads 16 kilobytes of CSS and 0.6 kilobytes of JavaScript for 17.6 kilobytes in total. You might not know exactly what that means, but the only thing you have to understand is that the larger this number is, the slower the site will load. The more you have to do for your optimization settings and optimization tweaks to get to load faster. So ZionBuilder with a blank page is at 17.6. If we look at Elementor Pro, it's at 965 for a blank page. And Divi and Brizzy, they're even bigger. Oxygen Builder, which is super fast, is 33. It's almost double what ZionBuilder is. So all that to say, ZionBuilder is pretty quick. But let's see how quick it actually is. I loaded up this template right here. This is one of the templates from the library in ZionBuilder. It's a pretty standard page. It's got images, buttons, text, icons, no videos or anything like that. It's got a counter. It's got a bunch of widgets from the page builder, and the page builder is loaded on this page as well because it needs to be for the stuff to show up. And we're going to run this page through PageSpeed Insights to see how fast it is. And just to show you what kind of plugins we have running, we have Elementor and Elementor Pro deactivated, so those aren't affecting it. We have ShortPixel to optimize images, so those images that are in this template will have been optimized by ShortPixel. And Siteground Optimizer is deactivated. And there's no other optimization plugins on this site. So let's see how fast it is. So I got a 64 on mobile and an 81 on desktop. And I realize this isn't as fast as a pure HTML and CSS page, but if we look at Elementor pages, I've done a bunch of videos on how slow Elementor is and how to make it faster. So you can check out one of those in the card up above or the description down below to see that Elementor, without any optimization, the mobile score is in the teens or low 20s. Or in some cases, if you're testing well that day, it could be in the high 20s, but it's never up to 64 without any optimization. And desktop is up to 81. And this site that we're testing here is hosted on Siteground. And so we have the Siteground Optimizer plugin, which is completely free if you're on Siteground. And if we activate this and then run the test again, we'll see these scores are even better. Our 63 is up to 68, so mobile wasn't that much better. But our 81 is up to 94 with SG Optimizer, which again is a free plugin if you're hosting on Siteground. If you're hosting on Siteground and you want to know how to configure Siteground Optimizer, SG Optimizer to make sites fast, click the card up above or the description down below where I walk through the setup for Siteground Optimizer that I've done on this site. And there's a big difference. Like this is huge for a page builder with no paid optimization, just free optimization. This is a great result. So that is one of the reasons I think ZionBuilder might have legs. It is coming into a pretty crowded market with all the other page builders and a hard market because Elementor kind of has it sewn up right now. So let's see how ZionBuilder actually works. So just close a bunch of these tabs. And if you're finding this tutorial helpful, click the like button because that helps this video show up for more people on YouTube so we can spread the knowledge and help more people with this information. So make sure you click like if you like this video. Here we go. So we have ZionBuilder installed here. We have the Pro version. We have ZionBuilder Free, ZionBuilder Pro. And this list of plugins is different than you just saw because I just switched to a local site because that'll go even faster, which is nice for my video recording. Let's go to Pages and then Add New. And let's click on Edit with ZionBuilder. So the first thing we want to do is kind of get a lay of the land on how this page builder works. It is kind of a hybrid between Elementor style editing and Brizzy style. On the left-hand side, we have a control panel where we have various things. We have a tree view panel. This will show the view of the sections or a list of the sections that we have in different ways. And then we have our template library. Then we have history, where we can undo and redo things. We have our responsive options. We have our page options, dynamic data preview source. This will allow you to choose which page's content you want shown if you have dynamic elements over on the right here where you're building the page. And we have global CSS classes. And I'll get into that in a little bit because that's one of my favorite features of ZionBuilder as well. And the little eye icon, we have a tour, keyboard shortcuts, about ZionBuilder, back to WP dashboard, ZionBuilder dashboard, and view the post if we saved it. And lastly, we have various options for saving. We can save the template, save the page, or save and publish the page. The control panel over here is where ZionBuilder is like Elementor, where it has this control panel on the left. But this little plus icon is where it's like Brizy, where you click the plus, and this is really where you do all your work. You choose your sections. You can add any kind of section you want. And then inside that section, you immediately goes to the elements you can choose. And we see the section right here. There's a bigger column here and then 4 smaller columns. And you can click the plus icon on any one of these to add things. But you're likely not going to be building inside of the WordPress template, which is what we're doing here. We have the title, which is the WordPress title from the post. And then we have the footer down below. What you likely want to do is go to canvas mode, which allows you to create the entire page. So to do that, we go to the page options, choose ZionBuilder blank canvas, and then it just goes to a blank canvas where we can create on the entire page, which is usually what we want for page builders. And so we have our section here now spread out across the top. Click on the plus icon, we can add elements. We can scroll through all the elements we have. This is the equivalent of dragging and dropping from the toolbar on the left for Elementor, or even for Brizy, you drag and drop from the left. Here you just click on plus and just add it in. Put in a countdown timer right there. Click on plus over here. We'll search for an image. Add an image right there. And that's how easy it is to add elements. Now to show you a little bit better what ZionBuilder can do without taking a lot of time building things like this, let's add a template. There's a lot of template options. You can add just sections. You have the blue UI, which I guess is a certain type of UI that's just focused on blue colors. I assume there'd be more coming. If there's a blue one, maybe there'll be a green one, red one, purple one. Pro sections provides you with lots of different section types. There's hero sections, content, partners, logos, images, counters, achievements, and stats, pricing tables, videos, process and steps, devices, lots of sections, footers, headers, latest posts. Then we have the core UI, which is similar to the blue UI, I guess, where you just add a bunch of sections. Or under templates, we can add a full page template, like this one over here. Click on it. We can preview it right here. I don't want to do that one. Let's click on this one and preview this one. This one's quite nice. Click on insert, and that will insert this template into our page. It keeps the section we added earlier right up there at the top. I can right click, make sure I'm selecting the section. You know you're on the section because you're not creating a yellow box. Here I'm on the element, and if I'm over here, I'm in the section. So I can just delete that section there. And now we have our site, our template imported. And as you can see, there's a lot of icons popping up. We have a lot of plus icons, so we can add new sections between sections. We can drag and drop to create more space, more padding at the top or the bottom of a section. We can click on this pencil over here, and that will open options to edit the section. Click on this pencil again. Now we have a lot of section options over here, including one of my favorites is the inner content width. Allows you to adjust the padding on the sides, but not really adjust the padding on the sides. You're really adjusting the width of the content, which is adjusting the padding, if that makes sense. But it's just much easier than entering numbers in Elementor and try to guess, and let's try 50, and 50 wasn't quite right, let's do 60. You get what I'm saying. Here you can just drag and drop, make that super easy. You can also make this custom percentage pixels and auto for the spacing on the sides. And you have a lot of options for orienting things very easily. For example, this element right here has text at the top, and you have a lot of space in the element down below. If I click on the pencil, and pencil again, I can choose to orient the content vertically. I can choose to have the content vertically aligned in the middle or the bottom, or split up like this. So we have the button on the bottom, text on the top, or move them closer together. We can also do it horizontally if we want. Because the text takes the full width, only the element that doesn't take the full width is moved around. You can also have them horizontally, so they're side by side. Here, the elements are stacked vertically. You click on this, and they're side by side as columns, but they're not really columns. They're just moving the elements side by side. Either way, there's a lot of options to quickly and easily orient things that you don't easily have in Elementor. You've got some of these options, but not all of these. You can easily change the column width. As you see, that one's too wide now, doesn't fit. And here we're getting narrower and narrower because it has to fit with this column here as well. And the column offset, if we change the offset, we have to change the width as well because that squishes things. So there's a lot of options to use in certain circumstances. And the pencils that appear, they appear everywhere. And you can use any of them to define the settings for that specific section. And all the plus icons add sections, or in the case of the yellow one, it adds elements. And you can also have or choose options from the library right here. So instead of choosing specific elements, you could insert a block of something right here, a predefined section. And what's really handy about ZionBuilder is its styling options. Let's just click on this pencil right here. Let's just open this one, settings, go to styling, and we see this is the wrapper ID number or ID tag. Don't worry about that too much. But in here, we can set all these different things, all these different CSS rules to define how it displays without any code, of course. Add background images, change the typography. If we change the typography just for this element, it will change it just for this element. If we go to the main section, if we change the typography here, right here, it'll apply that typography to everything in that section. And then you can go into specific elements and then change typography there if you need to, or you just have it all as one. Borders and shadows with a lot of different options, including visual aids on what you're actually changing. That's something Elementor doesn't have. It has these options as well, but doesn't really show you what they are. Here it shows we're rounding this top right border here, rounding the top left, rounding the bottom left, rounding the bottom right. Adding box shadows, how much space there is of the box shadow in the horizontal direction, how much there is in the vertical, how dispersed it is, and how dark it is. You get the idea. A lot of visual aids to help you do the right thing on the first try. Spacing options here, similar to Elementor. Display options, which allows you to define z-index and different display types, flex, block, inline, inline flex, inline block, and none. This is something who has experience with CSS would know all about. If you don't have experience with CSS, just click these and see what happens. And if you like what happened, stick with it, or just leave it alone. That works just fine too. And down below, you have much more refined options for display, something you don't have in Elementor. Transitions allow you to transition various elements when they appear on the page. This allows you the settings for those. You can transform elements, in other words, animate them. This is the CSS term for animating things. You can add various filters to sections and images, and you can add new attributes. CSS has a lot of rules and attributes available to you that go beyond what you see here, and you can add them if you know what you're doing with CSS. You click on Add Attribute, and then you can give it a name and a value, and that will be applied to whatever you're applying it to. And these icons here is dynamic data. So whenever you see this, you can pull in information from either ACF fields or default WordPress fields and pull this information in dynamically for any page, any place where you see the dynamic data icon. And these attributes are for people who know CSS. So if you're not familiar with CSS, don't worry about this. This is just added functionality that I really like that you don't see in a lot of page builders outside of Oxygen, where you can really dig into the CSS and create exactly what you want. So every single element that there is will have a list of options like you see here. And the ones that have a green circle, those are ones where changes have been made. If you hover over this, you can click on Discard Changes. So whatever changes you made there, you can just delete them by just clicking on that circle, and those changes will be undone. And then when you save them, those changes will be saved, unless of course you click the X first. And under the Advanced tab, we have the options to rename elements, and these names will be changed in one of these views, either the tree view or the section view. So if you change the name here, it will change inside these views. And this one, for example, let's just rename it to My Slider. So it's right here, My Slider, updated instantly. And it has a unique ID, which you can change. And this can be used for global CSS if you want to. So you can apply, you can define IDs for specific elements on a page, and then define global CSS and have this ID on other elements as well, all throughout your site. Then change your CSS in one spot to have it applied everywhere. And you can also dynamically change the visibility of elements without any additional plugins. This current element is visible to everybody. You can also have it just for logged in users or just logged out users. You have animation options for it appearing on the page. You have custom CSS that you can apply directly to this element, or you can change the ID and have global CSS, like I said earlier, which you can then add to other elements. And we have repeater options. What is a repeater? It's something that allows you to pull in dynamic content repeatedly. So for example, in this case, we have a bunch of blog posts. And I'm going to assume these are blog posts, I think they are, and they're pulled in from somewhere on your site. And so you can have this automatically pull in the latest things right into the slider by using the repeater. So if we enable the repeater, we can then choose a query that will query, for example, recent posts. Looks like these are the recent posts. And then it will just show the recent posts right here. If you don't want to show the recent posts, you can build your own query using these options here. And you can have dynamic content displayed on whatever section, whatever place you want. It doesn't have to be just in the slider. It can be in pretty much any element you want. You can have repeater options. You also have a search option. If you're having trouble finding things, you can search for them here. And if you click on any of the sections in the tree view, it takes you to that section. And then you can drag and drop it. Let's say you want to have this one be the second one. Now it's the second one. We just drag and dropped it right here. You can also rename these sections by clicking on the three icons, clicking on rename, and then you can name them more intelligently than just section, 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 section. And so then you can reorder your page much more easily. And you saw there's also lots of other options you have in here: duplicate, copy, cut, paste, rename, hide element, copy element styles. So you can copy them to a different element if you want to, just like an Elementor, discard element styles, save element, save and publish, and delete element. And ZionBuilder obviously has a lot more going on, and I can't cover everything in this video, but it is a complete page builder that really has legs. It could compete with the big boys like Elementor, Divi, Brizy, because A, it's fast, B, it's easy to use. I really like the inline editing. I find that much more intuitive than the dragging and dropping from the side panel with Elementor. And you have the ability to add CSS wherever you want. You can create attributes and add them to any element you want, and you have access to global CSS, which I really like, because my background is building sites from scratch years and years, decades ago, with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP. And so having those options available is super helpful. Now I want to check out their website to show you even more features that I can't easily and quickly show you here. So this is their site, ZionBuilder.io. If you want to check them out, go here. There is a free version and a pro version, and as of this recording, they're on AppSumo as well. $99 for a lifetime license. I believe that's for unlimited sites as well, just to confirm. That's for unlimited. Where are they? Where'd the search bar go? There it is. Zion. Here it is. ZionBuilder, $99 for unlimited websites for life. Compared to the pricing on the page here, on the actual website, we have a lifetime discount still available, $249, whereas on AppSumo it's $99. And I know when Elementor first came out, not everybody would have jumped on the chance to get the lifetime deal, but if they did, they'd be really happy right now because they kept increasing their prices. ZionBuilder might be the same way, it might not be. It'll depend on how much traction they get and how they end up developing it, but there is a chance that at $99, you might be very happy with yourself if you get it on AppSumo. If you want to get ZionBuilder through AppSumo, click on the link in the description down below. It is an affiliate link. AppSumo will give me a credit. I don't know how much. I've never actually got a credit through AppSumo before because it only gives you a credit if the person you refer has not bought something on AppSumo before, which is not very many people. And so I usually don't get any credits at all. So either way, there's a link down below if you want to check it out. And it's only 99 bucks, and lifetime deals are great. So let's check out some more features, because the features we saw inside the builder that we just went through are not all the features. And I encourage you to come to this page to check out the features on your own. We're just going to quickly breeze through them. Then we're going to take a look at all the elements you have available to you with ZionBuilder. And so on this page, we'll see some of the more standout features, like responsive breakpoints. You can customize those. You can do that in Elementor as well, but it's not very clean. It's a little bit better in ZionBuilder. Global styles, we saw those. Independent composition of elements, meaning that every element is composed of a wrapper and stuff inside the wrapper. For example, this button is composed of the wrapper, which wraps around the button, including a background behind the button, would be where the wrapper is. You have the button, which has its own button styles, as we can see here. And we have the icon, which has its own styles as well. And so every element is constructed in that fashion to be able to customize every single thing in the element. And we saw this list of options we have for styling an element, and every single element has that list in the element options panel, which is pretty nice. Once you're used to that one flow for design, it's on every single element. There's a header and footer builder, so you can create templates. There's the theme builder, which allows you to create themes, meaning you can have custom templates for entire pages, custom templates for your blog, custom templates for archive pages. You can build out an entire theme, including when you build a theme, you can say where to use it, either the entire site, just the home page, just the 404 page. You get the idea. It's the same with other page builders as well. There's a blog and archive post builder using dynamic content pulled in from that post content. There's a WooCommerce builder allowing you to customize your WooCommerce pages however you need to. The repeater queries we saw, those are pretty awesome. Dynamic data content, we saw that as well. Something we didn't see was the Modal Builder, which is another way of saying pop-up. There's different triggers you can choose for your modal builders. There's the slider builder. We saw the slider, we didn't really go into the builder, but we saw the slider. There's some user experience add-ons that you can see here, user experience features. Pseudo selectors, this is not something that you can customize easily inside of Elementor. So you have pseudo selectors like hover, before, after, active, focus, custom. If you are familiar with CSS, you're probably familiar with pseudo selectors and how powerful they can be. Most page builders don't give you access to these. ZionBuilder does. Advanced background blending features, which is pretty awesome. Motion control, transform, filters, the library system, which we saw. Advanced options like custom CSS and JavaScript, a role manager so you can decide who does what inside your ZionBuilder page builder pages. The options are extendable. It's all built with PHP, like most things are with WordPress, and it allows developers to add their own options to the main panel. And this brings up an interesting point. Really, the reason Elementor got so big was because of all the third-party add-ons. There is an absolute boatload of add-ons that extend the functionality of Elementor. Other page builders don't really have that community built around them yet. And I think it's going to take that kind of third-party developer community to really get any page builder off the ground. So with Zion, right now, as far as I know, there are no third-party add-ons. If we go into this page, this site, let's just look in the plugins for third-party add-ons. Let's just search for Zion. That should bring it up. If there were any other add-ons, there are none here. If we search for Elementor, for example, here's the main Elementor plugin. There's also lots of add-ons that extend the functionality of Elementor. Any page builder is going to need to find a way to build that community of developers, which attracts more customers. But in order to be able to attract the developers, you have to have the customers. So it's kind of a catch-22. But if ZionBuilder can attract the customers, which maybe they can through their AppSumo deal and their lifetime options, then maybe they can attract developers as well, which will then attract more customers. So far from what I've seen from ZionBuilder, it is a great page builder that is definitely a contender for one of the top page builders, as long as it can attract some developers. So let's go to Elements. Here we see all the elements we have available with, doesn't say if it's pro or free, because there is a free version and a pro version. So we have to assume this is a combination of free and pro, because I'm sure the free one has text, but some of these must be the pro version since we're on the pro website where you buy the pro version. So we have layout elements here, sections, columns, sidebars, containers, modals, which is the pop-up, content elements, text, custom code, counter, progress bars, anchor point, icon list, testimonials, alerts, shortcodes, pricing boxes, tabs, accordions, icons, icon box, heading, button, separator, inner content, menu, and countdown. These are all very similar to what you get in Elementor and Elementor Pro, but Elementor still has a few extra, but ZionBuilder could add those on. Image slider, image box, image gallery, video, slider builder, Google Maps, SoundCloud, a bunch of different WooCommerce options, product price, add to cart, loop add to cart, breadcrumbs, product metadata, product rating, product images, product stock, product upsells, related products, data tabs, search, and social share buttons. And that's the extent of the widgets as of right now. But there's also a feature request section for one. And then some of those features, the ones that have some wheels, end up going into the roadmap, and you can see how the plugin is going to be developed in the future. And you can even make your purchase decision based on this. If it's going in the right direction, you think, then it might be worth investing in ZionBuilder and the future of ZionBuilder. Hopefully they can attract third-party developers because that will really help them gain traction. But I think with the speed of their builder, they definitely have a leg up on pretty much every other page builder because the other page builders just aren't that fast out of the box. So if you like what you see on ZionBuilder, I encourage you to check out the free version, which you can just find in the WordPress repository. We saw it here. Just search for Zion. Here it is right here, the free version. And if you like what you see, either check it out on AppSumo, lifetime deal for $99, or if that has run out, we have a lifetime deal here as well for the first 1,000 people to purchase it. And we also have options for 1 website, 3 websites, or unlimited websites on a yearly plan. Yearly plan is obviously better for the Zion company because that keeps the money rolling and keeps them able to invest and build more, whereas the lifetime is better to get a quick infusion of cash and also better for your customers because then they don't have to pay in the long term. But either way, if you like ZionBuilder, I encourage you to check it out. And this might be the page builder of the future because it is so fast. It's not going to have to do everything Elementor does. Not everybody needs every single thing Elementor does, but we need a certain set of things, which I'm pretty sure Zion can provide, and it provides them in a manner that makes your sites not super slow. And even though ZionBuilder is pretty fast, you can make it even faster. Check out this tutorial right here where I show you to speed up WordPress sites beyond what you think might be possible. Make sure you check that out. And if you haven't done so yet, click subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss your future videos. My name is Bjorn Allpass in WP Learning Lab. Till next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.